What is good, everybody? Welcome back to Real Fan Sports. My name is Zach. I'm here with my partner, Nonpfixion. What's good, brother?
Man, I'm doing well. How about yourself, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing phenomenal. I'm ready to check out some more F1.
Yes.
We're obviously still learning. We did a couple videos, but it was like right at the tail end of the season last year. So we're really like at the very ground level of what is F1 and how everything works. We're already trying to figure out what race we're going to do next. We're thinking about possibly doing the Miami GP. So let us know if y'all think that'd be a good time. We'll do it live here on the channel. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and try to learn more about F1. And we're going to go to no other than Rick's F1 Addiction. Every F1 team explained in just 14 minutes.
Let's get
Mercedes, Ferrari, Aston Martin, Alpine Renault, Haas, Williams, Red Bull, McLaren, Sauber, and Racing.
Oh, also, before we get into it, I've already paused it too early. This is obviously hilarious. Shout out Rick's F1, man. He went and commented on our last video that we did from his. So that was awesome. And I told him in the comments, said, look, man, I don't know what you're doing on the race days. I said, but you should come join us one day and teach us all about the game, all about the races with us live on stream. So I don't know what kind of begging we need to do to make that happen, but that would be crazy if we could.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome collab right there.
Hell yeah.
Bulls. Now what you're looking at right here, ladies and gentlemen, is not just the stupidest group of photos put together, but also the 10 teams that have made Formula One what it is today.
Okay. All right. Stroll, Toxic, Idiots, Baya, Toto, Red Bull Jr., French, 0 points, Broke, and Underdogs.
Not just broke though.
I feel like
I'd rather be underdogs than broke.
I feel like I'm just gonna take a picture of this and just tape it to my wall whenever we watch the F1 race. I'd be like, all right, let's see.
Screenshot it and put it in the community. Which team is yours? And see if people know.
I'm broke right now. I'm broke.
Since explaining F1 is what I think I do best, I'm gonna explain each and every one of these teams to you guys in this video. Their history, characteristics, some other stupid stuff that you probably don't need to know about, but I'm gonna say it regardless. I've taken many things into consideration as well to make sure this video is as accurate as possible. We haven't got all day. Oh my god. Like Sauber turning into Audi and Alpine potentially going bankrupt. Or getting sponsored by OnlyFans. I really hope that doesn't happen, but if it does, I expect the drivers to drive the cars butt booty naked with their assholes clenched. So if you're a new fan, hopefully this video helps you in choosing which team
that's the least they can do if
for
that's
those
a sponsor. That's the least they can do, you know.
Bringing OF into it, you got to make your money.
I know you guys are just here for shits and giggles or what I have to say about your favorite team, but maybe you get to learn some new facts as well. So anyways, let the yapping begin.
Yes, sir.
It's a Ferrari.
It's a
shit box.
Now, a lot of you guys might expect me to define this team as the brain-dead ones, the clowns in Formula One who keep on making mistakes, and the idiots who decide to put hard tires on in a track that is clearly slippier than P. Diddy's baby oil. And as much as that is extremely true, Ferrari is still a huge part of Formula One. It is the biggest team in the sport, the most successful, has the largest fan base out there.
Everybody's a Ferrari fan.
And has the proudest history to look back on, from Michael Schumacher winning 5 championships to Charles Leclerc's iconic wins in Monza. As much as I love clowning on these guys, Ferrari is truly the heart of Formula One. That F1 pays them up to $50 million a year just to exist. And for good reason too, because without these guys, 40% of F1 fans would just go But jumping forward to Ferrari now, the team has become more of a meme, because they can have the highest highs, but eventually have the lowest of the lows. Like Charles Leclerc could win a race, but then sometime later, the Ferrari headquarters in Maranello.
Oh, we're just gonna skip over this headquarters. That is beautiful.
That is amazing.
Oh my god.
That looks like something that needs to be in like a DC or Marvel movie.
Right? Did the Avengers come flying out this month? Like what the hell?
That
Oh
is
my god!
an amazing. I love the way they built. I know we were looking at one angle, but it just looks so freaking cool.
That looks sick.
Would just magically set itself on fire. So this results in extreme mood swings for the average Ferrari fan. One race they could be joyful, and then bam, they want to kill themselves by next week. And Ferrari is also what I call the biggest driver edger.
The biggest driver edger?
Are they the ones that are getting sponsored by OnlyFans?
In my lack of better wording. But it's because so many of their drivers have come so close to winning a championship, but because of some goofy shenanigans that I swear to God only happens in a team like Ferrari,
yeah,
they end up either scarred for life
still catch
or
me off
start
guard.
balding.
Yeah.
Sometimes both.
And if I remember correctly, Ferrari actually finished pretty good last year, I believe. I think it was Ferrari. They had the last couple races that we were kind of keeping up with. I believe I remember them finishing pretty well. I know there's a bunch of changes this year too. I need to update myself. Daniel, we're gonna have to be sitting down talking soon. Okay, all right, let's go into Haas.
Haas are the underdogs of F1, one of the most underrated teams in the sport, and rooting for them is actually so much fun. Because supporting Haas is like supporting a fat friend with an eating disorder.
50 dead in Alaska.
You see, like Haas doing horrible in races, it's like seeing your overweight friend not do that well in any form of physical activity. But when you see them making progress,
What did I just see?
I'm actually trying to unsee that currently. I'm actually trying to. I've done that type of deadlift before. Okay, I forget.
Have you now?
It's called a Jefferson deadlift, I believe, but I've never done it without my hands. That's a new one to me.
you feel like the proudest dad in the world, and that is exactly what supporting Haas is like. When Roman Grosjean gets P4 in a race, if you're a Red Bull fan, it's just an average Tuesday. But if you're a Haas fan, it feels like you've on a fully paid 2-week vacation to Tahiti.
The Rocky music.
But as I've said, fat friend with an eating disorder, so progress isn't going to be so easy. So expect Haas to be in the back of the grid or midfield 50% of the time. Also, they are the youngest team that joined in 2016. It's an American race team owned by Gene Haas, and they struggle with funding a lot, but that's what makes their good results even more special. And speaking about a team with a similar trait, we move to Aston Martin, which started off as Jordan, then became Force India, but then the owner of the team got arrested for debt evasion, and so it turned into Racing Point and now Wingstop, pretty much. Also, if you didn't know, F1 teams can change sponsors or owners, hence the name changes over the years. But what I love so much about this team, especially during its Racing Point days, is that this is a team that tries to do more with less. Back then, they never had the top personnel or resources, but they were still able to compete against top teams in years like 2020. It was so impressive, except for the fact that they got fined for allegedly copying Mercedes. But the team has changed drastically, and thanks to billionaire Lawrence Stroll funding the team, pretty much
Mercedes?
just to
Yeah, I guess they like copied some blueprints of their vehicle, maybe? Did it actually show
Interesting.
The team has changed drastically, and thanks to billionaire Lawrence Stroll funding the team, pretty much just to give his son a rocket ship of a car, because Lance needs a fighter jet to win a race, they are now flooded with
Jesus, golly, Rick. Damn, man.
sources and
Does
top
he edit his
personnel.
own stuff? So he edited to somebody
Oh
else.
yeah, he has to. There's only one person in the world with the type of like brain that Rick has here. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's only him, and it's only him.
From other teams. But what still sucks about Aston Martin is that nobody supports them. I have not seen more than 5 Aston Martin fans, only Alonso fans. Previously it was Vettel fans, maybe Max in the future, but that just shows Aston's biggest weakness. They have no identity apart from their other driver. Stroll obviously doesn't count because his seat was given to him by his daddy and his ego is thicker than his eyebrows.
Interesting.
Now I know I love mentioning in my previous videos that
Damn. And people were coming at LeBron James hard for getting Bronny into the league. My boy just said,
he's
you know
a
what?
Nepo baby too.
Put your helmet on, son. Get out there and get laps.
He's like, what? You don't want to work? Oh no, you're gonna work. You're gonna effing work. Grab that helmet.
that Red Bull's such a toxic, unhealthy mess of a team, and although, you know, that is very much a fact, Red Bull is still successful as hell. Despite joining in 2005, they have accomplished so much. From Sebastian Vettel's domination era in the 2010s to Max Verstappen's domination in 2022 and 2023. Though what these two eras had in common was that during them,
they sell enough drinks around the world. They sell like over 9 million cans a year.
They can do whatever they want, dude. Like I stopped drinking caffeine for a while, but like I'm back hooked again after drinking it twice in 2 days, and I'm going to get all the different Red Bull flavors. I had some shit that had blossom in it. I don't even know why, but I got it. It sucked. Don't get it.
Was highly unstable, and that is the team's biggest trait. If you didn't know, the team has a whole power dynamic system that causes this instability, you know, different influences in every sector.
Why are you
Feel free to
into
pause
each other?
this if you want to digest how everything works. But the most unique part is that this actually makes them fast. Unlike Ferrari that has highs and lows separately, Red Bull has highs and lows at the same time. And the most interesting part is, the lower they are, the higher they go. I probably sound so confusing right now, but let me go. Think of it like this. The more unstable Red Bull is, the more successful they end up. But the thing is,
I don't know why, I just find it so funny that in this
think of it like
here, he just went ahead and just downloaded a PNG tree whiteboard instead of just finding one without a label on it.
The more unstable Red Bull is,
sometimes I'd be wanting to do that when we're editing anything. It's so bad.
More successful they end up. But the thing is, the team is like a boiling pot. It works fine in the right temperature, but if it gets too hot, the food fucking explodes.
Chicken.
So Red Bull works just like that. They're great under pressure, but if there's too much pressure, then boom. Everybody's nudes are out for the public. I really wish I could say that as an exaggeration, but no. Apparently, their team principal, Christian Horner, got his dick pic leaked after sexting an employee, and I also found Max Verstappen's nudes on an Instagram reel. And as of the time I'm recording this, Red Bull is beyond unstable.
Crazy series of events.
How is everybody's nudes leaked on the internet from one specific team? What the fuck is that?
I'm just like, like, what exactly is F1? Is what I'm starting wanting to ask questions to, right? Because I hear more and like you know, it's hilarious. I love it. I hear more about the craziness that happens amongst the teams than about the racing, and I love it though. Like, I love it.
If you had a show where just you never seen them race, you see them walk to the race course, but you never seen them race. It was about everything else. It'd probably be a #1 hit show.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, nobody needs to see them race. Just see them walking to the course.
Too much,
but
stupid,
it's about everything
dumb
else
stuff happens to them. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Alpine is a French team, and as much as I just want to end my explanation there, their history is just Alpine is also known as Renault, a French car manufacturer. They've been in F1 for a while now, and have had amazing moments like winning championship titles in 05 and 06, but they've also had some controversial moments like the 2008 crash gate, which was a whole controversy about Renault crashing one of their cars on purpose to help them win a race, and also some goofy moments like when the team became Lotus, Kimi Räikkönen nearly made them go bankrupt since he had a contract to be paid $50,000 for every point he scored. And he scored 390. But anyways, Alpine is a team that fell from grace. They used to be top contenders, but due to messy management, they have fallen off. Despite getting funding from like 20 different celebrities, including Ryan Reynolds, that they even made a Deadpool-themed car. So Alpine is still a midfield/backmarker team. They don't perform bad or good, mostly in between, though people expect a decline if things get messier, and also for them to not even exist in the coming years.
Actually, you know what? The fact that Ryan Reynolds is involved somehow and with his Deadpool role makes even more sense than it makes even more sense. I you know what? Actually, go ahead, sign the check. McLaren.
McLaren is a team that caters really well towards the younger demographic of F1 fans. They're a team with a history just as rich as Ferrari's, which is why they also get paid a heritage bonus of $30 million a year. And the team has had a fair share of ups and downs, like when I started supporting them in 2016 because of Alonso.
How the hell they can overtake?
Has he been on every damn team?
At the beginning of the straight. I never raced with less power in my life.
That ended up being the worst experience of my life, but the team has changed drastically over the years. They used to cater very well towards
in the middle of his eyes look like that? Go, like, just scroll back a little bit and just look at his
my life, but the team has.
Yeah, you like it? You like it? It's just like he said something wild.
There's an actor that he reminds me of. I think everybody can give a guess or two.
It's changed drastically over the years. They used to cater very well towards veteran fans, but are now far more suitable for younger fans out there. Since, you know, they call their fan base the Papaya Army, both of their drivers are extremely young, and their social media team is the most
16.
active and up to date with the trends. Though Aston Martin does come in as a close second. So McLaren is a fairly light-hearted team with a lot of positive vibes around. So if you're in your mid-20s or in high school, this might be the team for you. However, they are not immune from drama, because holy shit has this team always been in drama no matter what. Now, Sauber is another important team in Formula 1. Now, a lot of people assume that this team is an absolute joke, and as of the past few years, they are not wrong. They can't score points to save their lives. They're being sponsored by a gambling company, and also a streaming site filled with idiots that crash their cars.
Oh.
No! No!
But the team's performance now really doesn't
I hate that dude. I'm so glad he put him in there as far as the idiot that crashes a car. I hate that dude.
do justice to Sauber's history. The team is a Swiss motorsport engineering company that started F1 in 1993 and eventually allowed for the iconic debuts of Sergio Perez and Charles Leclerc. The team, though, unfortunately hasn't won any championships and has probably the most depressing record, but they are known as the place where drivers can show their talents to eventually move up to a more competitive team. Since 2023, however, they have just been known as the backmarkers, P19 and P20, the tractors, but thankfully Audi will be taking over the team in 2026 in hopes to save them.
So basically they're basically saying Steak had the team because they need a tax write-off.
That's basically what's happening.
That's what they're saying.
That's basically what's happening.
Mercedes, a team sponsored by a car company with a lot of things we can look back on, like the cars they used to make for Hitler. A bit too far back? A bit too far back. Okay, my bad.
He's a bit too far back. A bit too far back. I think you did go a bit too far back. Oh my goodness.
Oh boy, it's gonna be a defamation suit from Mercedes.
A year later and only came back as a factory team in 2010. But before the team existed, they used to be known as Brawn, an F1 team that was bought for a single British pound and has a 100% win rate. It might sound like I just pulled all that information out of my ass, but if you just pause this real quick, that would explain everything. But after Mercedes took over Brawn, this team did so much. Michael Schumacher made his return with them. They made the fastest cars out there.
I'm enraged! I'm Jesus! I'm descendant of God!
And Lewis Hamilton won multiple championships. But what if I said that those things aren't even the best part? Because the best part about Mercedes was Nico Rosberg outscoring Michael Schumacher and beating Lewis in 2016. So technically, Mercedes was the team where we witnessed a man beat two 7-time world champions in equal machinery, while also being a Monaco-based YouTuber. And then he retired. Baller move.
What? My dude beats multiple time champions and just like
he's on top of the world and say, I'm good. I'm gonna go back to YouTube.
I know what it's like to be on top. YouTube's easier.
He went back to YouTube. It's crazy.
That is crazy work.
Hello? Whoa, wait. Shouldn't we go with Michael? He's 7-time world champion.
Yes, but Nico got twice as many points last season.
But Mercedes is an extremely efficient team. Their team principle is calculated but extremely emotional. And a big part of the team's identity is just Lewis Hamilton. But he's left to join Ferrari, so that leaves Mercedes with the same identity crisis as Aston Martin.
Oh, tough.
Racing Bulls is essentially Red Bull the sequel. They're Red Bull's second team that is most recently known as VCAR, but a lot of fans know them better as Toro Rosso, Minardi, or AlphaTauri. And since they are pretty much Red Bull's slower junior team,
I'm gonna race F1's shortest driver.
That's not true.
In these mega trucks.
Red Bull has a lot of control over them, from which drivers get hired, fired, or moved up to the senior team if they're desired, and those decisions are made by Bar.
Yeah, what?
At first I thought he was playing when he said it was Red Bull Junior, so it's actually Red Bull's second team.
Yeah, I thought it was a joke too. Yeah, apparently it is. So
that's how much money you have have two teams in the F1 division?
2 teams, yeah. And so you basically just training up your kids, and then you're like, oh, this guy's good. All right, Max, time for you to retire. Get the next thing. That's crazy.
Damn, that's a lot of money.
Helmut
I don't
Marko,
wanna
Red
think
Bull's
about it.
chief headhunter who has put a lot of people, mostly upcoming talents, in the team, like Max Verstappen, Carlos Sainz, Nick De Vries, Yuki Tsunoda, Liam Lawson, Pierre Gasly, Alex Albon, Sebastian Vettel, and Danny Kvyat. And I know, holy shit, that is a lot of drivers. And the reason why is because the team is extremely harsh, just like Red Bull. If the drivers perform, they go up to the senior team, but if they don't, they either get put back in the junior team or get sent straight to hell.
Son, I'm very disappointed in you, but as long as you're safe, that's all that really matters.
Thanks, Dad. Yes, Dad?
And finally, we have Williams, which is another great example of a team that fell from
I haven't watched Everybody Hates Chris in so long.
Yeah, I haven't either.
That's a good show. Because isn't that Terry Crews like almost immediately after not making the Washington Redskins team? I don't think it was much. Yeah, I don't think it was much after.
It was so. It wasn't that far. I don't think it's that far removed.
Yeah.
race. They have been a huge part of Formula One, one of the most successful teams in the sport actually, which had iconic drivers like Alain Prost, Nelson Piquet, and Ayrton Senna, and their records are so impressive that when you take a look at the team now, you can't help but say, what the fuck happened? And well, it's fun. Williams, Haas, and Sauber are pure racing teams unlike Ferrari, Mercedes, or Renault, which are car manufacturers, which makes funding very challenging for them. Even with Williams also getting the $10 million heritage funding from F1. And this lack of money has resulted in miss after miss after miss. And therefore the team is at a low point. But what I still like the most about them is how they try to improve. Williams is a team on a journey to get back to the top. And with a team principle that's well-spoken, motivated employees and drivers, you can't help but to root for them. So that's all there is for Williams. I know I probably missed some of their history and maybe some interesting facts about the team. So if you guys want to drop a couple more facts in the comment section, feel free to do so. Like James Vowles going to Carlos Sainz's hotel room to sign his Williams contract, apparently. But anyways, that is it for every F1 team
Wait, what?
Excuse me?
What did they say?
Excuse me? Talking to Days In about Carlos Sainz, it was shockingly close to dating. It started with messages and it ended with me going to his hotel room. He signed, okay.
Hotel room to sign his Williams contract, apparently. But anyways, that is it for every F1 team explained. I hope this video answers all your questions if you're new, or was a fun rehash if you're an older fan. But as happy as I am to be able to explain all these teams to you guys, I'm still sad that this video was unable to answer the real question in all of F1. That being, who was top and who was bottom in Carlos Sainz's hotel room? Let that sink in, ladies and gentlemen. Let that sink in. Because I don't know the answer to that, and James Vowles said it was shockingly close to dating. So now I'm too afraid to ask. I'm thinking Carlos is bottom, though. Because they don't call him chili unless he's ready to take the heat.
He's ready to take the heat. Good stuff. Good stuff.
As always, guys. Like, subscribe, notification bells. We already got all that turned on. Rick's F1 addiction. What more can you say about it? I mean, look,
perfect name for the channel, Rick's F1 addiction, because it's addicting content.
yeah. I'm still trying to figure out like what team and everything that I'm following, and I've like the more and more as much, even though if all the trolling that they do, I feel like I got to be a Ferrari fan because I've like Ferrari's always been like my dream, like
your go-to
supercar or anything like that. Yeah. And so I think I got to go Ferrari, but now I got to start getting myself mentally prepared to be insulted by these jokes that he makes every time we watch him.
That's hella funny, actually.
That's
understandable. That will be a pretty large commitment to go into that like that.
Yeah, it's just I think it's just the facts, man. But look, I know it's been a while since we've done some F1 videos. I hope y'all enjoyed this one. Definitely have some more coming. Feel free to send us some more reaction requests. You can go over on our Discord. Our Discord is our best place to send requests. All you got to do is click on the Discord, join, go to React Recommendations, send a video, and then we'll check it out. Not any closing words?
Appreciate you. Love you. Catch you on next one. Peace out, y'all.
Cheers.